Fundamentals of Zoroastrian Faith, Part 12. It became enormously popular among both the Zoroastrian and Muslims, and also served to propagate the Sassanid justification for overthrowing the Arsacides. That is, the Sassanids had restored the faith to its orthodox form after the Hellenistic Arsacides had allowed Zoroastrianism to become corrupt. Among migrations were those to cities in or on the margins of Great Salt Desert, in particular to Yazd or Kerman, which remain centers of the Iranian Zoroastrianism to this day. Yazd became the seat of Iranian high priest during Mongol II Khanate rule, when the best hope for the survival for a not-Muslim was too inconspicuous. Crucial to the present-day survival of the Zoroastrianism was the migration from the northeastern Iranian town of Sanjaran in southwestern Khorasan to Gujarat in India, western India. The descendants of that group are today known as Parsis. They are Parsis, as the Gujaratis from long tradition called anyone from Iran, who today represent the larger of two groups of Zoroastrians in India. The Gujaratis are also the Iranis, and the Parsis are also the Iranis, and they have got their own form of Zoroastrianism. The struggle between Zoroastrianism and Islam declined in the 10th and 11th centuries. Local Iranian dynasties, all vigorously Muslims, had emerged as largely independent vassals of the caliphs. In the 16th century, in one of the early letters between Iranian Zoroastrians and their co-religionists in India, the priest of Yazd lamented that no period in human history, not even that of Alexander, had been more grievous or troublesome for faithful than this millennium of the demon of wrath. What I've seen in the article, rather than explaining Zoroastrianism, the writer has unjustifiably shown its bias against Islam and its own bias against Muslims. Well, the very purpose is to describe the fundamentals of Zoroastrian faith. So they haven't really cared about the description of the faith of Zoroastrianism, rather found one way of criticizing Muslims. That shows the Islamophobia among the writers. Well, let's talk about the modern day extinction of Zoroastrianism. Zoroastrianism has survived into the modern period, particularly in India, where the Parsis are thought to have been present since about 9th century. Today, Zoroastrianism can be divided into two main schools of thought: the Reformists and Traditionalists. The Traditionalists are mostly Parsis, and except besides the Gathas and Avestas, also the Middle Persian literature and the like. The Reformists mostly developed in their modern form from 19th century developments. They generally do not allow conversion to the faith, and as such, for someone to be a Zoroastrian, they must be born of Zoroastrian parents. Some traditionalists recognize the children of mixed marriages as Zoroastrians, though usually only if the father is born Zoroastrian. Reformists tend to advocate a return to the Gathas, the universal nature of the faith, a disease in ritualization and an emphasis on the faith as philosophy rather than religion.